live at the Switchboard. That's Ryan Bunch setting up. He's our host tonight. Speakers set up, it looks like. He's getting the microphone plugged in. Artists and hippies are about half hour late starting. That's just how it rolls. I don't know how it is in your town, but in Toledo we're that way sometimes. It's laid back. It's 82 degrees outside in here in Toledo. Beautiful night in May.
All right, welcome everybody. We're going to go ahead and get started. My name is Ryan Bunch. I'll be your host for this evening, though I know every one of you, so it feels a little ridiculous to introduce myself, but we'll stick with the pleasantries anyway. Yeah, thank you. Thanks for coming out to the second semi-monthly OHMI Poets and Writers Assembly Line reading. This was supposed to be monthly, but last month Facebook forgot who I was and then didn't believe me when I told them who I was, so I had to cancel the event because I literally couldn't do anything. So that was weird. So now we're back on like a semi-monthly thing. We will be back again next month in June, and I actually have an exhibition that'll be in the gallery with two photographers. It's a poetry photography collaboration with Dirty Kicks, James Dickerson, and Natalie Trinelli Jacobs. Yeah, thank you. Very excited about it, though it is crunch time and we have a lot of work to do in the next 2 weeks, so please send prayers. There'll also be some drawings by Josh Byron, so that'll be really cool. The poetry reading next month will be a little bit tailored around complementing that exhibition, so please come back out and check it out. So without further ado, we'll go ahead and get started. We have 4 fantastic features tonight. Our last one should be rolling in here pretty soon. One of the things I really want to do with this reading is just take the time to give, 3-4 poets max. It was so nice out earlier, I didn't want to stick everyone inside, but I forgot about motorcycles. It was like really pleasant. So we'll bear through the noise. And this will be fun. But the goal for this reading is to really just kind of focus each month on just a couple of writers and really let them give a chance to kind of really settle into their work. I would like to start incorporating some other forms of writing in general. So at some point I'd like to have some comedy and I don't know, maybe a little play acting or wizardry, whatever, we'll figure it out. But tonight we're going to lean into that a little bit with Ben Stalets, who's going to close out the night after our headliner, Mr. Huntor Prey. And we'll have Denton coming up here in a little bit. But for right now, please give a big warm welcome to Justin Longacre. Justin lives with his wife and 2 sons in Toledo, Ohio, where he teaches English and creative writing at Toledo School for the Arts. His poetry and fiction have been published in Spartan, Rabble, Great Lakes Review, and elsewhere. Take it away.
Thanks, guys. Hey, who's driven on the street called I-75? Woo.
Yep.
All right, this is about that. But what if I-75 was a pinball machine?
Yes. Oh, that was...
It's called a pinball table called I-75. Sing through me, solenoids, the song of a wizard skilled in the ways of the table, the pull of the plunger, the end of stroke switch, the dance of the thrust and gunch. Render your coils pliant to the twitch of my dark meat. Accept these few scrounge tokens and cleanse me with your velocity. Wash me in the froth of your chromium trajectories. I yank the handle and snap the pin straight to the backflash where a Michigan map illuminates a path of unlit bulbs straight to the shoulder of Ohio's airbrushed shrub. The vein of I-75 dilates one green diode at a time. It's kind of windy. I sail past the ball-hungry gobble holes right into the Detroit kick-out. A swarm of spheres pour down the play field to the chip-tune chug of an 8-bit MC5. Some balls flip into the dead lane service drive, some into the spinning taquerias of Werner Ave, and some into the gaudy bash toys of Greektown. I know everything is headed straight into the gutter sooner or later, just outside the reach of my spasmodic panic flips, but not yet. Hit the bank of Packard plant panels one at a time until a new Whole Foods pops up. Barrel over the Faygo Red Rouge on the outlane orbit to strip mall limbo. The Applebee's, the Office Depot, the Meijer, the Applebee's, the Office Depot, the Meijer, the Applebee's, the Office Depot, the Meijer, the Bed Bath & Beyond. I'm headed for the Beyond, past the meltdown nuke plant that almost ate Detroit, the Frenchtown give-up of Monroe, the Black Swamp hinterlands, until finally the orange neon splatters welcome to Ohio in illicit firework bursts. Toledo, you credit drain, you wizard eater, you Lazarus ball. How many tokens have you devoured? How many free plays have you paid out? How many of your silver children have dropped into the drain without gracing so much as a single bumper? Stillborn house balls. How many sunk into the east side cellar hole beneath Frankie's of the Chicane Lane assembly lines of Stickney and Alexis? And how many are still in play, weaving around the magic post of the flare stack, the strip malls, spinning like flyaways, and stop magnets of syrup-sodded booths, solenoids hum in a playfield made of glass, where a steel ball rages among the breakable, where everything that is broken cuts, where I see my own face reflected, where I wonder if this is a redemption game and wait for the ball to drop. It's a poem called The 3rd of July. It's about what if Walt Whitman worked at a firework place. You guys ever thought about that? Yeah, I got you. Walt Whitman is working the counter at Libidinous Prongs, a fireworks shack on the shady side of the state line. There's a 20-foot-high fiberglass Uncle Sam out front, salvaged from a defunct waffle stop. He's holding a sign that says E pluribus unum, which here means everything is 2 for 1. The screen door tingles a cracked bell when it opens, and Whitman either nods or does one of those quiet reflux burps. Either way, he doesn't bother to set down his dripping coney, which has just brushed his mustache with mustard. Inside, it smells like sulfur, funnel cakes, and armpits. A gross of eagle tears, a couple dozen Kalamazoo cloud rippers, a fistful of barbaric yawps, a $30 fire fountain called Manifest Destiny, a brick called Little Turtle's Revenge, all tossed into a cart that says Dollar General on the handle. And if you peek out the back door, you might see Doc Boggs and George Clinton working an oil drum grill. Don't you ever turn your back on a chicken thigh near an open flame, one might say, as they Rothko on the sauce. Meanwhile, Whitman will have finished his coney and gone off to bathe and admire himself. In his place, Henry Ford will already have begun lighting magic blooms off a greenback cigar, laughing and tossing them into the aisles just to see what might happen.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys. Who out there likes to write? Yeah. Or do creative stuff? Yeah. But who out there also doesn't do that a lot? Yeah, same. This is about not writing. It's called Sashura, and it's after John Cage, who's a composer, who you probably know this. But his most famous work is 4:33, which is just 4 minutes and 33 seconds worth of silence, which I relate to. So sure, after John Cage. I spent 2 years in a chair with a disc of cold blue appetite cradled in the hollow where my throat and clavicle meet. An empty bowl held up in hunger, or simply to put emptiness on display. Like John Cage in an auditorium, listening to listening. Cold blue silence meeting hungry ears with their own sound. Maybe paper programs fluttering in stone-still air, waiting for waiting. What if all I have is silence, heat hunger of earth, empty bowl of throat, steel eardrums stretched taut, a poem made of line breaks, nothing at all, offered to the world in trembling supplication. I'll get sad and then I'll get weird again, which is my whole thing. This is about the pandemic, and it's also about Alice Coltrane. It's called Something About Alice Coltrane. When it all shut down, I left an actual harp in my classroom, 2 broken dulcimers, an out-of-tune zither, and a banjo with a pair of purple sunglasses for a bridge. And I will claim room 311 as a place for tension to thrum into song, however imperfectly. Wood and steel and shaky voices weaving life from the air. But on that day the virus sent us home, we all left those patient, long-suffering strings behind, suspended in pure, baffled silence. I am no Alice Coltrane, but I wish I could have plucked some comfort from that tension. Perfect cascades of glissando haloed in cirrus wisp, of tempura drone. I wish I could have intoned a perfect mantra to ground the scared, confused children, until a murmuration of song fluttered free from the pharaoh gold saxophone bell in every little voice, saying, look, look, look what else we can do with our fragile, finite breath. Hey, you guys want a poem about Major Magics or about Rudy's hot dogs? I'll do this. We're going to vote on this. So, option 1, Major Magics. Cheer if you want Major Magics. Major Magics. Okay, that's pretty strong, to be honest. How many people want Rudy's hot dogs? Woo! That's kind of strong, but it's not as strong as Major Magics. Did you guys go to Major Magics?
Yes.
There you go, man. It's the best thing that could happen to you.
Rudy's has beer for breakfast.
Rudy's does have beer for breakfast. Although I'm pretty sure Major Magics would give you beer at breakfast time. Yeah, it was pretty shady, really. All right, it's Major Magics. Is that a token or a dumb lump of bubble yum stomped black into the carpet? You've got to incubate those soiled coins in your ripe fists, smell your hand heat, swallow the copper tang, trace the taste later tingling on your pizza crust, the wax and Mountain Dew flirting on the cup rim you bit like a pouting lip, uncoil it with your laughing strawberry tongue, toss that scuffed plastic skee ball right into the 50 hole, right into the 100, use the red snake flicker of tickets to buy a glow-in-the-dark spider ring, a Chinese finger trap, a pink wad of now and laters. You'll never get enough for that TV. There's no kind of ugly a black light in a fog machine can't fix. Let those neon teeth hum with mercury. Look at all that well-lit plush piled in the plexiglass. See it slip through the loose grip claw. Smoke sneaks out of the grown-up room where the game is on, where the cuss gets cussed, where the pitcher gets tipped. That animatronic walrus knows the whole secret. Watch the way he clutches his sax, track his sidelong glance to the guitar fox. What gnaws their fuzz, bleak and threadbare? What hot color is your slap bracelet? Is the nylon frayed at the edges? What in this world will ever again light up like your shoes do? Here's a short one about 3 of the saddest sentences I've ever heard in my life. It's a found poem. It's called 3 Cell Phone Conversations Overheard at Kroger. 1. That's why people walking around with raggedy mouths. 2. Do you need more spray butter for work? 3. I wish I could have got lettuce. This shit is devastating. This is the weirdest one. It's called The Neon Fig. And it answers the question, what if 90s R&B groups played Dungeons and Dragons at a bar?
Wow.
It's game night at the Neon Fig, and we're swapping sips of electric moon mist off the rim of a pewter chalice. You are wearing your best set of glow-in-the-dark fangs, and your eyes reflect maraschino light like drink wings quivering with the spasms of thirsty fruit flies. Everything is held together with surface tension's thin mystery. Speakers hiss a playlist called Swarovski Trunk Thumper, New Jack Dream Pop. All right, just let me stop real quick. You guys know the crystals that are really glass?
Yes.
I wrote the word, but I don't know how to pronounce it. Do you guys know how to pronounce it?
Swarovski.
Swarovski. I just kind of blurred some shit together, to be honest with you. So
We were laughing at Trump.
yeah, no, that's a great word. I'm very confident with that one. Swarovski Trunk Thumper is the name of the playlist. All right, but back into the Neon Fig. All right. New Jack Dream Pop reflecting off black lacquer and finger-smudged mirrors while a cloaked bingo caller shouts numbers to the Formica roller derby jammers who all mark their cards with a slash of red lipstick. Sweat lords use switchblades as cribbage pegs. Everyone is playing Risk with a set of snake-eyed dice. But here we are, posted up at this mangy pool table, running a little game I like to call the Southside Dungeon Strut. Tonight, we're going to pursue all the monsters in the manual, all the fiends in the folio. Your character sheet is a cocktail napkin sticky with grenadine stats, Aaliyah Freon, high priestess of service merchandise, weaver of crystalline laser disc enchantments, siren of the white pleather sectional. You and I are just a pair of uncertainties suspended between palm and table, a tumble of raw possibilities, a blur of nasty algorithms, twin banes of strip mall goblins and plunderers of the halogen kiosk ring horde. Together, we clink on the downbeat of a new universe, suddenly quantized in our upturned faces. You pop that purple 20-sided die in your high fructose mouth and dare me to come get it, while I chalk up your thaco on the walls of this greasy labyrinth. All right, but how about the Rudy's one too, though? I got a little time. I got a little time. Called Rudy's. You guys go to Rudy's?
Yeah, close.
Sometimes.
Near us. The other ones.
It closed, yeah. I had plans one day of going to right at Rudy's hot dogs all day long, but then I went out to get in my van and there was a bullet hole in it and I had to deal with all that. But this poem eventually came out. I went to Rudy's for like 20 minutes and wrote jack shit, but then I wrote this later, so it's Rudy's. The straight razor and the apron of the Greek cook, a rebatiste who tickled a smuggled baklava across Smyrna hash dens and starving swallowed a whole toad in a Turkish prison. The shaking hands of the old lady on the drawer who once threw a fistful of Ajax into her husband's eyes for coming home late. The bullhorn preacher in the corner booth with a pocket full of tracts about the dangers of role-playing, rock and roll, and Freemasonry. The ancient coffee, brewed by the first hand to ever break the code of Hammurabi. The true platonic form of chocolate hiding in the malt. The funky alchemy of chili and mustard and raw onion slopped on a steamed bun. The Union Hall heft of those broad-cut fries. The fizz of a sip of pop siphoned through a straw, whose specific bore was calculated to perfection by Pythagoras himself. The same Pythagoras strumming the monochord on the opening bars of American Girl, which is always revving from the neon stella of Rudy's jukebox. The buffalo head mounted on the wall, smiling at the one place time would never think to look.
Yeah.
Hey, thanks, guys. Two more?
Ohio State.
Yeah, go ahead.
Ohio State.
Dude, I tried writing an Ohio State poem. It was on my mind. I think I scavenged some of the lines from Major Magic's from a defunct Ohio State poem. I think the line about the black light was originally from an Ohio State poem. Yeah, I'm really interested in activities where you have to rent footwear for it. You know what I mean? Like that's an interesting setup. Why do they do that? Like, we should do that at poetry readings. We should require rent. That's how we should make our money.
Next month.
Next month, yeah.
Oh, there is a I mentioned the bowling bag for donation.
Oh shit, yeah. There's a bowling bag
For donation.
it's for donations
To the artists.
to the artists.
Yeah.
Dang.
Thanks, Justin.
All right. All right, this one is about a bunch of giant skeletons they found at Mommy Bay State Park. It's called Apocrypha. Hello, motorcycles out here.
They're all at Wesley.
Yeah, it's like
They were at Wesley.
It's bike night at Wesley's?
It's like 100 there. It's
Oh.
awesome, actually.
All right,
Not for you.
that's fine.
So drive by and see it.
Actually, I think it works, really.
It does.
Yeah, it's experimental. I've played noise sets that are way worse. All right, I just have 2 minutes now, so I'm just going to read the one. This is fine. This is a poem about dying in front of my classroom. Called Flux. I had a minor panic attack about this one this week because I was reading a song of myself out loud to a class, and I quote a line of Song of Myself in here where Whitman says the words Lacey Jags, J-A-G, but in the Norton Anthology of American Literature, it says Lacey Jabs, right? And so I freaked out about that a little bit. I was like, damn, I misquoted this. This is like the journal for English teachers or whatever. But then I checked my copy of Song of Myself, and I was right. And then I checked another one, and I was right. And I checked several, and it's the Norton Anthology of American Literature is wrong about it. So, Flux. I will die in front of my classroom. Years of queso and caffeine congealed on the walls of my arteries, circulation slowed like rush hour traffic, blood cells backed up like brake lights, driven by oxygen molecules who are definitely going to be late for work today. They don't know that the factory is closed. The pistons and presses frozen in mid-pump, the assembly line of my tongue finally silent. It's possible that nobody will notice, that I will die flopping around like a dry, rotted hose busted loose from its spigot while everyone shuffles around my body on their way to the next class. But maybe they paid enough attention to initiate Operation Lacey Jags, which is code for chucking my corpse over the blue rails of the high-level bridge and into the black main line of the Maumee River. Please, inject me back into the Great Lakes so I can dissolve into the water I always was. Let my people drink me in. Let the traffic jam break. Let me barrel down the open road of 60 million new veins. Let me gather in vapor exhaled from the smokestack of new throats. Thanks.
Yeah.
Woo!
All right, keep it going one more time for Justin Longacre. Justin, it occurred to me, I would never play favorites, but I would have to say I'd known Justin the longest of any writer in Toledo, so he's got a special place in my heart. But it occurred to me while you were reading that was 20 years ago. So put that in your pipe and smoke it, Longacre. Okay. As I mentioned, this bowling bag here is not just for show, nor for discarded footwear that is for rental, but is for, we'll pass the hat around. There's also, if you don't feel comfortable putting it in the bowling bag, there's a teapot thing, canister in there that you can put money in also. So you can choose your own adventure. We'll pass that around. Thank you to Mel for bringing that out, Mel Pryor. And all of the money there will go to get split among the artists for tonight. So please do reach in your pockets. If you just have digital currency, you can Venmo me. I have a wonderful track record of non-embezzlement. All of that money is just at Ryan-Bunch at Venmo or any of the other apps if you have them. But if you want to send me some cash, I will make sure that all gets distributed evenly among the poets as well. So it's a nice little gesture, as Dan and I were talking about earlier. Poetry does not often equal money, so it is a nice gesture if you have a few bucks. Thank you, Johnny. Give it up for, look at that. Your poet laureate working hard for you. Give it up for Johnny McIntyre. Woo! Okay, so we'll transition from Justin's mini manufacturing references to our next poet. Dan Denton has been published in several zines, newspaper, and anthologies. He's a past winner of Toledo City Paper's annual poetry contest, and his first novel, $100 a Week Motel, on Punk Hostage Press, was published last year. Dan lives in West Toledo and works at a local union auto factory, and also is a prolific podcaster, specifically highlighting poetry and creatives in our region. Please give a big warm welcome to Dan Denton. Woo! Yeah.
Namaste, motherfucker.
Yes.
Wake up for work, take time to meditate, to find peace in the morning. Namaste. Traffic is slow through the construction zone, but you left early enough. Namaste. The supervisor is yelling because the line is stopped, but you smile and shrug it off. Namaste. Two coworkers laugh at a homophobic slur. You grit your teeth, politely tell them it's offensive. They call you a faggot lover. Namaste. Hour 9 of a 10-hour shift. You're grinding to just make it through the day. Namaste. A truck honks at you because you're driving too slow on the way home. The truck swerves erratically, pausing alongside to yell, cuss, and give you the finger. You take a deep meditative breath. Fuck you. Namaste, motherfucker. Namaste. That was the first poem I ever read at any out-of-town poetry festival I went to. And it's probably not my best poem by a long stretch, but people always remembered that. And I hadn't read it in a long time. Hey, my name's Dan Denton. Thanks, Ryan Bunch, for asking me to come here tonight. What an incredibly talented fucking lineup, man. Toledo is, like Johnny always says, is just lousy for talent, man. Everywhere I turn around, there are so many cool, creative people around, and what a cool area to be from, man. So Justin mentioned I had a book published last year, my first novel, $100 a Week Motel from Punk Hostage Press. I'm going to read you a short chapter. Thank you. If you don't have a copy, I got some tonight. If you make a nice enough donation to the bowling bag, I'll just give you a copy. Let me know.
How much are they?
They're $15 otherwise, but you know,
Only $15.
it's capitalism, and I'm an artist. Yeah, we'll barter. Yeah, I know, man. Anyway, this is chapter 22 from that book about living. It's about living in a cheap motel and working in a shitty factory and kind of the stories that come along from that lifestyle. Rudy was kicking it with me one morning before work. He'd ran down to the corner store for me and got a 6-pack, some smokes, and a bag of little chocolate donuts. We were sitting outside in a chilly fall morning drinking a beer and shooting the shit. Raven was still sleeping when Mo walked down to us from the office reeking of day-old curry and turmeric-laced B.O. You know CU neighbors? He asked, and we fumbled our way through it and agreed that none of us had seen the junkie couple for 3 days or so. Probably run off with no money for rent, Mo grumbled, and left and came back with the keys to the neighbor's room, except they hadn't split to avoid the rent. They were dead. Apparently there was a bad batch of smack going around, and they'd had the dumb luck to find it, and they'd both left for their next incarnation, and had left their old ones laying in a $100 a week motel. Maybe they left to avoid a rent that public universities don't teach in economics classes. The cops hung around all day, talking to the dredges of humanity that made their temporary residence at the motel. I called off work hoping dead neighbors would be a good enough excuse to avoid an attendance occurrence at the factory. You only got 3 a year, and I'd already burned 2. How the fuck you gonna make it through an 8-hour shift, half drunk and uneasy from hanging out with the cops all day? Raven knew the dead woman a little. Her name was Donna, she told me. They talked sometimes in the evening when I was working. She had 3 kids and was going to get clean soon and try to get visitation for the holidays. I wondered if those kids would miss her. Are heroin habits more crippling to parenting skills than Christianity? Are tweakers worse parents than drunks? Me and Raven got drunk, fucked, and fell asleep angry at a cruel world. Home is where the sad lives, because it has to live somewhere too.
Yeah.
All right, I only got a couple poems I'll read. Okay, so this is an old poem. This is the poem I read at my second poetry festival. It's published in my first chapbook, Bury My Heart in the Gutter from EMP Books. It's still available at empbooks.com for like $5. And my buddy Esno has bastardized it because I had a book published, so he had me sign like 25 of them. So he's probably making good money off of that. I hope you go buy one from him. He sends me free books once in a while with like all kinds of shit, and he's a cool dude. And he like edits my shit for free, so you should support him, empbooks.com. Anyway, this poem is called Rip Your Vocal Cords and Whisper Me a Love Song. Nobody reports the news anymore. They just tell stories. The news channels should not tell stories. Nobody covers the squirrel nut zippers. Just Freebird and Sweet Home Alabama. Rock and roll died a sudden death in 1994, and Garth Brooks strangled all the heart out of country music. The radio no longer has any guts. Today's college degree is tomorrow's ticket to conformity. The monks don't set themselves on fire anymore. They don't pray out loud either. Denny's Grand Slam breakfast hasn't hit it out of the park in this decade. And the coffee is strongest at midnight. So strong the diner is now open 25 hours a day. Lord help me, I can't change. I'll set myself on fire before I salute your anthem. The flag never had any guts to start with. Your backbone is brittle. The artists are almost extinct. There are no more poets, just factory workers and baristas and accountants and college professors trying to become poets. The poem always comes after you quit trying. They never learned that at the universities. Uncle Sam will no longer finance your reassignment. The military complex sees no profit there. The patriots are missiles, liberating those that just wanted to be left alone. The patriots are football players. The real patriots argue on social media. I would delete my Facebook account, but without notifications, how would I know that I am? How would my government keep track of me? Nobody falls in love anymore. Couples map out their lives in corporate coffee shops. They turn free love into a commodity. You have to pay to play. Love is a protest. Jesus got hijacked by some crazy people. Fuck yeah, he did. Yeah. Push the unmute button and whisper me lies. Don't let me drift off to sleep with all this sadness. Tell me it's all a nightmare. Tell me that none of it is real. Make me believe in fairy tales. Rip your vocal cords out and whisper me a love song.
Yeah.
I ain't hardly wrote fuck shit this year, and I'm kind of embarrassed about it, but life's kind of been rough lately, man. It's hard being bipolar sometimes. But I wanted to read one Toledo poem and one newer poem. So this one's called, it's a short one called Don't Lose Your Shadow. War is on the television again. School shootings are still daily headlines. Potholes grow larger all the time. Hearts crumble younger and younger with each generation. Empty brick buildings sit with sad faces. No one smiles at dusk in late winter. Rust shadows grow heavy on West Toledo streets. The orange sun, I don't know why that was hard to say. The orange sun hangs like fire over the junkyard at the bottom of our dead-end street. Thank you. All right, this is an old poem. You ever get mad at cliches? That pissed me the fuck off, man. Because, like, listen, live, laugh, love is great. I wish I could do that more. But, man, like, my neighbor's hungry. I know people that overdosed last week. Like, life is messy, man. So anyway, somebody told me one time, because I was, like, real stressed the fuck out, and They're like, Dan, don't worry, be happy. Like, you know, and I got mad about that. I wrote this poem. Don't worry, be happy. Shit. If my knees wouldn't ache so much, that'd be cool. If I wasn't just a tad uneasy all the time, that'd be nice. If I didn't have so many bills, maybe I could breathe. If people that I like didn't get cancer. If people that I know weren't broke. If war would end. If global warming was taken seriously. If politics left the woman's right to choose alone. If artists were paid their worth. If poets were paid their worth. If teachers were paid their worth. If the Walton family gave a fuck about their employees. If weed was legal. If weed was legal. If weed was legal. Maybe I could be happy then. All right, I got two more quick ones and I'll be done. Thanks again to the Switchboard for hosting too, and Ryan Bunch, and shouts out to Justin Longacre, great set. I'm looking forward to everybody seeing Hunter, man, and Ben. Great night. Anyway, speaking of things that pissed me off, did you see Andy Warhol? They fucking, some rich anonymous motherfucker paid like $200 goddamn million. What the fuck even number is that, man? Anyway, this is a poem I wrote somewhere or something like that, because that shit pisses me off too. They sold Johnny Ramone's fucking guitar, man. That shit should be in a museum. You know what I mean? Like, I should be able to go look at that shit, you know? Fuck capitalism, and gotta love the Ramones. The night they sold Johnny's guitar, the stars never wept, the clouds didn't part, the moon did not hold a moment of silence. There were no butterfly sneezes, no wrinkles to the fabric of the universe. It barely made the news. No one protested, no handmade signs, no megaphones, no thunder, no rain. All was quiet, and peace barely stood a chance the night they sold Johnny Ramone's guitar. Hey, you ever write a poem and somebody get a tattoo about it? This happened to this poem one time, and that's probably the coolest fucking thing that's ever happened to me as a poet, except for one other time I won't mention on camera. Anyway, this is called I Want to Microdose Sunshine. That's a cool fucking line. Somebody got that tattoo. I want to microdose sunshine and drink the smooth jazz of neon lights and dark dive bar windows. I want to celebrate my original sin and grow old with my discomfort. I want to experience true joy twice a day and watch plants grow in their natural habitat. I want to microdose the American dream until it means something again. I want to find rainbows before the rain. I want to jump in mud puddles down the block with the neighborhood kids one more time. I want to reset all the sad that has built up like plaque in my heart's arteries. I want to microdose your hugs and put them in vending machines and shopping mall kiosks. I want to read poems with the ghost that lives behind the bumper sticker on Woody Guthrie's guitar. I want to sing in midnight choirs with those locked out of Mormon tabernacles. I want to breathe clean air and drink clean water when life gets dirty on fall afternoons. Thank you, guys.
Yeah.
All right, shout out to Dan Denton. It's nice to walk away from the mic and just an array of motorcycles screaming after your set. I'm gonna cue that up on like a recording next time. Thank you, Dan. Our next reader, I probably, as I mentioned, I've known Justin for quite a long time. Hunter probably comes shortly after that. One of the first artists I met here bumming around Toledo. So please give a warm welcome to our next artist, MC, spoken word poet, book writer, songwriter, co-CEO of Definition Music LLC, recent voice opener for the Toledo Mudhens and Walleye. If you haven't checked out Hunter's phenomenal poems that he composed for those organizations, look them up. They will make you fall in love with this city and cry at the same time. He's a phenomenal talent. I won't brag on the numbers because he wanted to keep it humble, but I just found out earlier tonight Hunter's crushing YouTube. with like genuinely phenomenal numbers, and he earned every bit of it. Please give a big warm welcome to Huntor Prey. Okay. Alternate realities, alternate points of view, parallel universes, Picard versus Q. Live in these verses, transforming krakens and demigorgons. This life is semi-torturous, albeit semi-gorgeous. Former latchkey kid in metamorphosis. And time is changing like switches in gray DeLoreans. Flickering lights when I roll by. Car lights swoop like fireflies, epic multicolored skies. Tweaking and glitching ain't living life. Running in circles, a version of the life of Pi. Forward cataracts over their eyes, catacombs, and lies in their lives with no bones to pick with that. So pick any card or pick any truth. Pick any stage for the stars or pick any booth. I'll spit acid like an alien from the 80s, living reckless. My pen been weird since I was 11. Steered clear of the fear since I've been reared here. My wind been here, shit, right in this heaven. An eye is a weapon. All beef is seared from sheer aggression. Levitate vocals over audio spectrum. Bass range and a glorious chord progression. Brain crazy, my one and only confession. And no embellishments like I all relevant. So when the world opened doors, I listen to the creaks. Then it's all water under the bridge. Within the midst of a new twist, trying to answer this question in the abyss. Lines are crooked and blurred, life and Hennessy swirled in a potent mixture. Whose picture painting the world? Better yet, who frames it? Picture that statement. Latin or layman rust is figments of imaginations. And right now, I'm smiling. Taking advantage of this moment because there might not be another soon. Holding on to memories like roller coaster handlebars tightly because I'm slightly off my rocker. But to you, let's tell the story of the sun and the moon. How one reflects the other when the darkness comes too soon. The spark is in the tomb. Candles in the shadows with the fire in the room. Battle with humanity to reach a higher zone. My bad, maybe I mean zone. Maybe we leave now. Hiding from confusion like riddles for the clueless. Speaking in metaphor and all illusion. Conclusion, we living in the upside down. Repeat, we're living in the upside down. Where everything is cool and bad and worse is cool now. If people seem okie dokie with that hocus pocus, that David Blaine sleight of hand keep them running wild. If people start to latch on to peculiar things, and property is more important than human beings, and what you glad to buy gives you an opposite vibe, feels like hailstorms and blizzards in the middle of the spring. So shout out outcasts that outlast this, and sing songs inspired by y'all strange. Defying stereotypes is weird science, no compliance, ED 209, fire on all lanes. Remain able, though stone in the hand of Cain, just to throw away from glass occupying your window frame. Oculus Rift to remember this one refrain. What you see ain't always what you obtain. So when the world opened doors, I listened to the creaks. Then it's all water under the bridge. Within the midst of a new twist, trying to answer this question in the abyss. Lines are crooked and blurred, life and Hennessy swirled in a potent mixture. Whose picture painting the world? Better yet, who frames it? Picture that statement. Latin or layman rust, it's all figments of imagination. It's all figments of imagination.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. What's up? My name is Huntor Prey. Got a little set for y'all. As he said, I'm kind of like a poet and an MC. So what's going to happen? There's going to be pieces that flow in the verses that flow in the pieces, and we'll see where we go from there. All right. Okay, this next one. This is about growing up here in my neighborhood in Toledo. It's called City Mind. And then I guess we'll move. Yeah, that's what I'll do. I started with my little 80s baby thing. I'll move from adolescence, adulthood, and we'll see where we go. Here's adolescence. City Mind. I want to talk about this place where I grew up, learned to speak oratorical lessons, navigating streets and blocks and channels. Let me handle this.
I routed through my speaking while simultaneously routing my trek about Toledo. We knock beats on Door Street, bumping that real is something. I meet Southern Italians, take me to Spaghetti Junction. Past the Grenadier function, and I see drunks speaking memories like a child's melody in the background. Bring it back now, the elders bang classic jazz and R&B and lace Cadillacs, or moving Motown down Detroit Ave. Caught one dude transfer his stash and pass a blow on Oakwood. Now that's crack on the endorphin track. But I don't go that route. Swing through City Park, watching the rowdy crowd surround a ghetto bout. It's hustling in different trenches. Same wars, same park benches, same chairs at school, same rugged destiny that makes life harder to live. By rules designated to clip by wings and make adjacent complacency. We were chocolate Pinocchios, sewed on strings. My hold on things is something different. Pissed at the poorness, but loving it all, a reminiscence. The basketball crates, Smith Park drive-bys, murder rates, police Impala chases. Great, another fight breaks out after club is closing early tonight. Now I try to keep my mind less lethargic, but cats sparking drama in that parking lot, keeping it real. And I'm like, dude, don't keep it real like movies. Keep it true, you feel me? Oh, you're filming me. But hey, things are getting crazy and I'm watching my ghetto brothers. Hope I don't get no babies from young undiscovered mothers, but am I ready? Maybe. Things seem backwards this time, and what I feel is summer breeze in these winter days where the change states is high enough to satellite spot me microwaving in the camera. That doesn't matter. Big Brother's got me feeling hot and damaging, yet the added attraction keeps my song and verse radioactive. I got the juice on FM from AM to PM, keep the vibe of music moving, carpe diem. So in my car I'm cruising, roll down memory lane, remember when the last I seen them. My dudes posted on Indiana and Forest, the chorus they sing. Higher than Jane's addiction, listening to afflicted pain pictures painted on stereo speakers. They try to get their Prince Ocean blue like Neptune's and Jay. And right now I see this fly girl Venus, but body like the youngest Williams. She like chomping on Mars bars and tattered yards across the street. Harvard laughs. Harvard grads don't live here, but these the smartest Avs you'll see. I brag on my home. Big city no, but we deep still. The woods is the central hood, flat as the valley but spread out hill. The south's all out. The north was grimy. The East, remember, it was titled God's country. And now, in a way, there's no jobs coming. So we dipped through the cuts of slums, then bumming. On the porch, dreaming about rap, and day and night, we balled until our arches fell flat. And my thoughts manifest fine, rummaging through this city mind. Shit wasn't great, but it felt fine. Rummaging through this city mind. My home.
Yeah.
All right. Adulting stuff. This is like super serious one. I can say that during after George Floyd and all that, like a lot came out of me during that time. So this is one that I have for that. It's titled Running Man. And we'll see if I add anything to that. Let's see. May Nike guide my stride and just do it echo through the halls of my ears and make bedfellows of my liberation before I reach my finish line. You see me, I might not look it, but I'm a runner. Oh, I am a running man. I am melanated horsepower, 4th generation. See, I run so hard, they call me Clydesdale. Gas me up and I'll leave you fuming. See, I was told there's death when you stand and death when you run. So if I'm gonna die, let's make it fun. See, I run my mouth, wicked tongue, and I'm supposed to like my girls fast. Any woman that brings something to the table better be Mrs. Dash. And when the lights are off, I flash. See, I'm supposed to be kung fu master of let go of these hoes. You know they ain't loyal, so I drop kicks and snare you with the beat of my sprint. I'm running, man. 9.58 seconds flat. But you think you sane? You angry at my boat? You don't feel that jolt in the crack of my back. You don't feel that crippling jolt in the crack of my back. I'm still running, though. Shit, I'll outrun past and pain. See, I got a new whip to ease that. And new kicks so someone can tell me dope. New kicks so I move when someone tells me no. New kicks to hammer my toes on rocks and pavement. New kicks to hide callous memories of cotton socks. New kicks to hide poor, I'm still running. Fresh new scent of my soul scraping the cement. Smells like gunpowder. But I will not tire treading. Till my skin peels back, my feet will bear testimony. Till my legs fall like cut trees and timberlands, I'm running away. Because I'm a running man. Trying to outmatch the pistol aimed at the start of my race. Recklessly trekking for my own finish line like it's 1850 Mason Dixon. And that crippling jolt in the crack of my back won't bring me to my knees. Lactic acid turned vitriol in my aching calves. But you fear my arms, pumping like pistons, will lead me flying off the track designed for me, don't you? Because it's easier to track me down running in the same circle. But my vision is straight. I am a running man. See, grin and grimace the same sin in my race. And who gives two shits of difference as long as you run, boy? Run. When those pistols sing, you run. When they shoot, you run. When they doubt you, you run. Scout you, you run. Athlete under contract, run. Leader, politics, run. Thug, hip-hop, run. Thug, nigga, run. Rap, hip-hop, run. But when them tears run, don't stop. Tear gas, you run. Smile, you stop. Grimace, you run. Cop, you run. If you pause, you stop. The pistol, you run. Bullet, you stop. Criminal, you run. Humanity, stop. I am a running man. Loved for my speed, hated for my strides. With blaze in my feet, fire in my arms when that firearm raises. On my mark before marksman, getting set before sighted, and explaining to God how I got one shot to beat this bullet or bite it, because I am a running man. May Nike guide my stride, but fuck the invisible effects of that shit. Feeling anonymous. Indigo cared before blues was a promise, and black was a fight against dominance. Was a reconnaissance mission. Wizard of Oz in the banks, and the rulers of prison. Maybe this green paper is fiction. Even the mirrors are bots, and the vice of a system break me from this Oculus rift. See, I'm trapped as a thug, trapped as a nigga. Welcome to that lion den. Living black in the box, mad in the cops frisking to stop the invisible sin. Flashing lights in my rear view. TV want to tell the tale, but don't hear you. But tell you how to feel. Kill these niggas still. Face the truth or believe that spin. Police and harassing, oppression, the fight, and the lesson, the quiet, the death, and the crimson we bleed, and no great guy can hide us in shadow. Every day we gotta face that struggle. Fuck that, feeling pixelated. Can't fix our faces because they fix the hated. Can't overstate that, then it blows up. You surprised people want to bust back. Hold up, what's that? Rioting streets. Bullets and bullshit, fear and corruption and badges to hide. Fuck the fear in these lies, man. Everybody fuck the fear in these lies. Repeat these type of stereos, lies to everyone, death and bury sons' daughters. Everyone's a martyr, defending on your perception of the whole drama, watching America's opera.
God damn.
Woo! Let me see here. This next one that I want to do is where are we at? Okay, so this next one, if I can get back up to the top. Okay, so this next one that I want to do is I actually did it one time for earlier this year for Black History Month. And one of the things that I was told was to do, something about creativity. At the time, I had absolutely no clue where I wanted to go, but I kind of wanted to do something like all-encompassing. So, this is the one that I wanted to do. It was called Creation is My People's Language. It was kind of untitled, so there it is. Creation is my people's language. Blended ebony and ivory keys, Coltrane G to major C. Our gangster has always been innovative. Daddy-O Jive taught this language remixed, danced around this eternal fire, always been lit. Alleyways and art galleries synonymous, we get in where we fit or give where we go. Designing mythos and art. Creation is my people's movement. We make the beautiful unimaginable, the subtle unbelievable, the grotesque graceful, ticks and clicks, pops, robotic animation made fluid, stepping forward to slide backwards, dubbing moonwalking, dance a martial arts class of footwork, rhythm syncing, precision, decisions. Don't overthink, just listen to the feel, and the body will flow like water and smooth out the most jagged of edges. Creation is my people's ladder. Now we sit in high society with low-brow fitted hats. No cap, no lies, just infinite imagination pulled from the blackness of our lives, the black of our dreams, gatekeepers of the cool and all that jazz. American Mozart Tatum made with rhythm and blues so rock and roll could walk the path already paved. Sunshines, even in dark times, we string silver lining poems and wrap pretty pink bows around the anguish and call it soul. That is our gift. Creation is my people's battle cry. Both Hugh's and Giovanni's dreams deferred until Gil Scott's revolution digitized. The cycle continues, pressing until Lamar reaches the preacher's door and knees getting weak and the gun might blow. But we gon' be all right. We will always be all right. Through inherent pain and adversity, years of being looked at yet still unseen. Under Ellison's invisible screen, speak truth to power and still stay fly and create style from hand-me-downs. Creation is my people's low-end theory. Yes, children of the drum, we continue to glide through American history with percussion, found calm in between the stick and the snare, and we find home in the rumbling, comfort in the bass, ease in the trunk rattle, peace in the shaky foundation, just to birth new. Genres made where there were none, spaces made where there were none, creating our humanity. And it comes from simple things: a conversation, a good meal, worry, miscalculations, lemon situations, and a whole lot of sugar. A slap on the chest or a knee pat, improvisation, a scratch on a record, repeating the most energy-filled parts of said record in order to dance the struggles away a little longer, with double Dutch timing between two turntables that were never meant to achieve that. Splatter of paint to canvas wall, a subway car, wanting someone, anyone to see the multitude of shades, hues, signs of worthy talent, expression as liberation. So lift every voice and sing and say it loud. Creation is our word. Love. Creation is our culture. Blackness. Okay, so I got a sneaky request on my phone to do this piece, so I'll do it. This piece connects to everybody, okay? And it's a signature piece. One of the things that I know, being young or old, we all have our dreams, and we all have dreams that we want to accomplish. Even if it's the smallest thing, we all got dreams. And one of the things that I wanted to do was to create kind of like a metaphor for chasing dreams. And then I remembered how kids used to chase butterflies in fields. And the funness in that, and the joy in that. So I wrote this, and it's called Chasing Butterflies. At times, I look out on this open field and I search for butterflies. With a child's eye, I search for butterflies, and when I find one, y'all know what I do. Same thing that I was doing before. I'm still running. I run. I chase it. I run like hell, knowing that if I could catch it or catch up to it, it'll show me my path, how I can be free, just like it, how I can fly in zigzag patterns of straight lines, and my small wings can create a hurricane theory of progress with wind at my back and air under my feet. I can be like it, and it can be with me. You know, I used to just watch butterflies before I chased them. At 3, I dragged my Grammy and the bus driver off the metro just to observe a monarch perched on his dandelion throne, right outside of Mott Branch Library. Only to say, look, see? Grammy, look, see? Just pointing. I guess back then it was the only way I could explain the joy in being the king of one's destiny. And I wanted to mirror that, to sit on a chair made of weeds and issues and know still there's beauty. So we are caught in this delicate dance. Chase, pursue, step back. Reach out, move close, retract. See, I'm so close, but I'm running back. Romancing every step. Inhaling that pollen off his wings like I'm searching for fuel in his jet stream to keep up the whole pace. Cause see, love of you delirium awaits in my hands. But be careful. I don't want my eagerness to crush you. I don't want to place you in a jar or put you in a scrapbook to admire the death of you. I just hope that in my chasing, you would choose me. And with you on the palm of my hands, and you didn't disappear into the horizon, I could look into those butterfly eyes and say, truly, I belong to you. I will protect you and still flaunt you as my prize. That you are that wife and kid on Red Rose Lane when the bills are paid and concrete jungles won't matter and dark days will shatter because you illuminate like fireflies, and that the remnants of twigs in my past won't tell that at times I can be a weak tree to land on. That I'm not always in bloom to feed you. That I love your freedom, but I am trapped by my roots to the ground. I am caught in this artificial chrysalis, watching out of HD iPlasma TVs, just marveling at the thought that this one pixel in the grand screen of things represents higher definition for me. A fucking butterfly. But every day, that butterfly should fly in the pattern and I ran to chase it, showing my name to the sky and my life to the world and how I lived for it, how I loved, how I cherished, how I tripped up from broken promises and branches and just flat out fell short. All calligraphy written in the grass when my butterflies flew. Only to learn that love is a freedom that chooses to sit in the palm of your hands. That dreams, oh man, dreams are on a flight stream without pattern headed towards the horizon. That relationships, like life, can be delicate things. And they can either stay, land, or leave you. So yeah, man, I chase butterflies, chasing dreams, like the wind chases the breeze. And my eyes, maybe, will see a vision of me catching up to that dream. Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Come on, one more time for Hunter. Thank you. While I'm pulling this up here, I want to give a big shout out to Rob and Sean from the Switchboard for letting us do this here. Thank you.
What a nice spot.
And a big round of applause to all of you. As I was looking around, shout out to Gutter Dave over there making requests from the corner. Appreciate it. But it's cool to look around and realize that it's this whole thing is like creatives supporting creatives. I was just standing in the back and eyeing up like what everybody in this place does for this city, and it's a cool thing to watch people come out just to support each other. So give yourselves a round of applause again, like for real. Woo!
Thank you, Ryan. Round of applause for Ryan.
Yeah.
Woo!
Stop it. But we are not done yet. We got one more artist here to close us out. And while he's getting set up, I will read what he sent me about him, which I really love this opening line. Cracking the egg that is Ben Stalets' two yolks. The first is a country-tinged, folk-soaked lyrically driven. The second is a sweaty rock and roll rooted performance. However you prefer it, you'll end up full. Ben's medley of soundscapes has allowed him to open for a diverse collection of critically acclaimed acts, such as Justin Townes Earle, Damian Huardo, Corey Brannon, Daniel Romano, Valerie June, Whitey Morgan, Reverend Peyton's Big Damn Band, Local H, and Icarus Account. He's also been a staple at classic music destinations like Nelsonville Music Festival, and as a return guest on Knoxville's Blue Plate Special. Please give a big round of applause to OHMI Gallery's first songwriter, Mr. Ben Stalets, who looks like he needs maybe one more minute, so make it a big round of applause. Keep it going.
Yeah.
I will say, while Ben's finishing up, one thing that's interesting to me about curating these is trying to find sort of, I'm not like overly curating it, but I'm trying to find sort of like what I think are loose connections between artists. And what started to kind of emerge from me with this group was people that paint scenes and tell stories really well. And I really, it was fun to kind of start to sort of put a list together and then sort of figure out who might go with who and what those pieces look like. And so I hope you caught a little bit of a sense of that tonight, even though I think everybody has kind of their own style, a little bit of different approach. There is sort of a weird unanimous thing, and I feel like it's kind of awesome that it's bike night, even though it's like a little hard to read up here with bike night going on. But it's sort of awesome to have this like very Toledo poetry, people painting all these gnarly pictures and just fucking motorcycles swirling around everywhere. It's kind of fucking awesome. So yeah, cheers to the bikers. You guys just rolled up on bikes. Yeah. How you doing back there, Ben?
Good.
I don't have any more filler.
Good.
Okay, great. Ben Stalets.
Woo! I feel lucky to be among you guys. I feel lucky to play. Oh wait, maybe the poet laureate's gone. Oh, well, I've never played in front of a poet laureate. Dan's the closest I ever came to that.
Yeah.
All right, I'm just gonna play and then I'll talk a little bit more. I've got some band-aids on my finger here. This song is like my favorite one I've written in a long time, and it's about Florida, but I really think it's about somebody that's too scared to admit they just want to go to heaven. Yeah, I'm sick of working for a boss who can't say thanks. Find someone younger whose need doesn't hurt him. I'm not coming in today. I'm too old to be this broke. I'm too young to just cave in. I heard heaven's waiting down the road, despite the old white Republicans. I'm running to Florida to start over again. Listen, Bunny, you've got all my money. The kid won't even call me Dad. I stayed for Sonny when you said you didn't love me. Now I've been replaced by Chad. I'm too old to be this broken, and I'm too young to just cave in. So that's heaven waiting down the road. Well, I can still visit Sonny every other weekend. I'm running to Florida to start over again. I used to leave questions unasked. Look where that got me in the past. Now I'm taking fate into my hands on 65, passing through Alabama. place to land. I'm starting over again. Who knows, maybe I'll find my dad. I'm starting over again. Oh, I've gotta clean up my act. I'm running to Florida like it's the arms of a long-lost friend. And I'm too old to be this broke. I'm too old to be this broken. I'm too old to be this broke. Florida, take me in.
Yeah.
Thank you. Oh, he's a subject. I don't think you guys were that much shorter than me. All right, here we go. I wrote this song about the luckiest person I know, and it's my friend Eric. And he's the kind of guy that sees a targeted ad on Facebook and thinks he's lucky because he got pre-approved for the credit card that it required to buy it. All I have is luck. It's everything I am. It's these scratch-offs I've won, and it's my girlfriend Brienne. Yeah, her ex bought her a boob job. God, I love her rack. Sometimes he'll take her out to eat, and he'll even pay her tab. All I have is luck. It's how I get to see my mom, and it's why her aim sucks. They let her out before too long. She didn't even want to kill him, just keep his ass in line. I guess they must have made amends, 'cause they've been married twice. The song's true. Every lyric of this song's true. All I have is luck. Now let's try again. All you need is luck. When you grow up poor, it's how you get what you want. What you need is luck. Daddy's paychecks don't add up. Well, nothing puts you to sleep like dreaming that you might be getting lucky. When you wake up, all I have is luck. It's how I got to where I am. In my dad's beat-up truck, a Miller High Life in my hand.
Yeah.
And Lucy's tongue's hung in the air. But I'm white, so the cops don't care. They caught me once before, but it ain't on my record anymore. What you need is luck. When you grow up poor, it's how you get what you want. What you need is luck. When you watch your brother die on the trailer parking lot, nurse said it was bad luck, the way that the car struck him. If it wasn't for bad luck, he would have just got up and walked. If it wasn't for bad luck, I wouldn't have none at all. Woo! Yeah. Thank you. I wrote this next song. You know, a lot of guys, they get up here, especially white guys on the acoustic guitar, they're like, this song's for the ladies. Well, I'm going to do something a little different. This song's for the roofers. Do we have any roofers in here? Well, then it's for the people that have roofs or live under roofs or have hired roofers or whatever. This is another one of my favorite songs I do. I like all my songs. Well, I was smoking on a roof. I was taking in the view, thinking, this ain't beautiful, then what is to you? When Kenny threw me up a tall boy, so we drank another round, hoping that shingle might get up and nail itself down. It's funny how money can make a rich man seem broke when he needs something more than he can afford. We do the work, he needs the work done. So pay us what it's worth, we'll take our tools and run. Kenny used to work on the roof, now he yells up from below. Ever since he fell off and got knocked out cold. It's a true story too. And we lifted him with 2 bys into my truck bed and raced him to the doctor to find out he weren't dead. It's funny how money can make the rich man seem broke when he needs something more than he can afford. We do the work, he needs the work done. So pay us what it's worth, we'll take our tools and run. And baby, I'm poor because I spend all I have on weed, wine, and child support before it touches the debt collector's hands. It's funny how money can make the rich man seem broke when he needs something more than he can afford. We do the work, he needs the work done. So pay us what it's worth, we'll take our tools and run. I was smoking on a roof, I was taking in the views, thinking, this ain't beautiful, then what is to you? It's not often in Toledo that you get to play to people that actually listen, so I don't take this situation for granted. And I'm not going to steal away all of your time just because you're listening. 1 song, 2 songs, 1 song. He said he should.
Maybe love ain't all you need.
What did he say, Dan?
Maybe love ain't all you need.
I'm not going to play that one. I got better ones than that.
I'll try.
But thank you, Dan. Thank you for requesting. Maybe I'll play it last. I told Dan one time when we were chatting, I said, I try not to play a set without playing a new one. This one's my new one. Alright. How's it go again? Yeah. Jeep's parked on a dead-end street, so the cop creeping up must be lonely. Don't the bullied become bullies? We ain't bothering no one. I thought we were out of sight, now we're dancing in that goddamn spotlight. Put this ring on tight, I know it doesn't fit, but act like you're my wife. No one knows how we got here, we're here right or wrong. And if desire desires just fear, well, I fear my desires just too strong. And I'd rather die smiling than lying about what I want. Don't ask me where I got that ring. Just pull up your goddamn stockings and hand me the papers from the glove compartment. Darling, I'm gonna do the talking. Good night, officer. What seems to be the problem here? Now that's my wife there, sir. And we're celebrating 20 years. She said she was feeling old, so we tried to do it somewhere new. I'm just gonna take her home, officer, if that's okay with you. I don't know how we got here, but we're here right or wrong. And if desire's just fear, well, I fear my desire's just too strong. 'Cause I'd rather die smiling than lying about what I want. Can't believe that he had no clue. I figured he must have remembered you. But anyways, I already paid you, baby, so what you say we do what we came to. Don't look at me like that. That cop ain't coming back. And you're tougher than you act, so don't you climb up here and dance on daddy's lap. No one knows how we got here. We're here right or wrong. And if desire's just fear, well, I fear my desire's just too strong. And I'd rather die smiling than lying about what I want. If desire's just fear, well, I fear my desire's far too strong. And I'd rather die smiling than lying about what I want. All right, thank you guys so much. I'm gonna play one last song. Ryan said I could. I don't know if he meant it, but I'm gonna take him up on it. This song I wrote for a friend of mine that passed away earlier this year. He was a really, really special guy. Jimbo, that's right. Jim was a really, really special guy. He taught me a lot of things. Like he taught me if I was on the phone with somebody at, say, like Travelocity, and they wouldn't give me a refund because they sold me a janky product, he said, you just ask them to speak to the guy that tells them what to do every day. And then if they don't have the answer that you want, and you keep going up until you get to the person that gives you what you want. Jim also, one time, a lady came in and she's like, I've been stung by a bee and I'm allergic. And Jim said, okay, come over here, sit down. He leads her over to his little stool. He had his bucket for a stool and it was his. And he was rubbing her hand the whole time. She said, I need you to stab me with this EpiPen. Jim said, I don't know how to do that. And she said, okay, well, you just stab me right here. He's like, okay. He's like this? And she said, yeah. And then he goes to stab her after this like big, intense situation. And they're both looking at each other, and I'm looking at them, calling the ambulance. And Jim goes, I think this thing shocked me. Then he looked up, and he realized he stabbed himself with the EpiPen. And she said, oh dear. And Jim said, what's going to happen to me? And she goes, I don't know. So I called the ambulance for her, and then I had to call the ambulance for him. He was fine, she was fine. I don't know, they both might have made it up, but... Anyways, this is about Jim. If I had to sell St. Pete on all the sweet things about Jim, that song might be too long, and I'd bet he'd already told him. Sold him the moon, then dickered over tax, then lied about his size. Jimmy Jazz. He told me I don't need to buy a motorcycle. I need a Breeze, LSD, and Easy Rider, 'cause he thought I might crash it. When I crashed, he had the heart of a dad. Jimmy Jazz. If you meet St. Pete at the gate, teach him my secret handshake. You're not the only one who's made mistakes. Then I'll hang back and wait. With your daughters in the rain, just save me a place. When he finally died, Jim left me his upright bass, 'cause he knew I didn't play and that thing takes up so much space. When he finally died, he had the last laugh. Now when I'm tripping over that thing, I'm cursing Jimmy Jazz. If you didn't think it was hurting me too, I finally fooled ya. But I'm at ease in my mind, and I can see you twirling your boogla. So if you see me holding tears back, and then the tears turn into laughs, well then I'm just recalling the past with Jimmy Jazz. Jimmy Jazz. If you greet St. Pete at the gate, if he mentions my name, not the only one who's made mistakes. And then I'll hang back and wait with your daughters and Stevie J. Just save me a place. Thank you guys so much. Woo!
Thank you, Ben. Thank you. One more time for Ben.
Yeah.
Well, again, thanks, Ben. You are weirdly tall. You don't look taller than me.
I'm still tall.
Feels like you are, though. All right, well, hey, everybody, thanks again for coming out to Bike Night. And just spending the evening listening to words and being together. That's what this is all about. Again, thank you to the Switchboard for having us. Be sure to wander inside and check out Contron's show at Just Jerry's Gallery.
Yeah.
Where's Jerry Gray? There's Jerry Gray. If you want to buy a piece. What's that?
In there, though.
Oh, I thought you said you were in there. Jerry's in there, man. Dave's not here. No, wander inside, check out the gallery. There's a great show up. It'll be up through the rest of the month. Jerry's doing a lot of great work here. Come back next month. We'll have a show up, and we'll be here. What's that? June 10th. Yeah, that's the opening night, June 10th. The Imaginatron is booked, if anybody's familiar with the Imaginatron, formerly Marco Polio and the New Vaccines. From Detroit, Michigan. We'll be playing that opening along with Dirty Kicks, myself, and Natalie Chinelli-Jacobs. It'll be a great show. And last, one more round of applause for all of the poets, Dan, Hunter, Justin, and Ben. Yeah, thank you guys so much. All right, that concludes our evening. Please enjoy yourself. Go inside, grab a drink from Trent. He's working his tail off in there, and please tip your bartenders, as always. Oh, also, if anybody hasn't donated to the bowling bag, there it is. All the funds will be donated to the poets here this evening. Thank you.
Good songs, man. It's good to hear you too. Yeah, it's the first time I've heard you said so.
Likewise.
On occasion, it's been a little while, but
No, because so I'm in Toledo a bunch, where I grew up, but I live in So I'm